Hey gang, how's it going? It's me, Jack. Today on Jacksnax, we're going to break down all these kind of shapes and slurs and smeary, smushy arpeggios that we do when we're raking into and out of our favorite bends. That kind of thing. So there's some that are coming up and some that are coming down, all right? So hang tight and I'll break down a bunch of my favorites and hopefully we'll expand your vocabulary when it comes to this kind of, I don't know, it's kind of an awesome technique to have under your belt. So I hope you guys stick around for the lesson, okay? Cheers. All right, let's do our first lick. All right, so all we're doing is we're raking through a little C sharp minor arpeggio. Okay, that's a flat 7, so I guess it's a C sharp minor 7. And then we're going to tag with our pinky this G note at the 12th fret. And that's really the sweepy bit right there. Okay, that's the rakey smushy. You can slide into it like that, or you can just one note. Okay, and we're hitting it and doing a little pull off from the pinky into the ring finger and bending back up to it kind of afterwards, and then we kind of make our way back down to the 4 and then the flat 3, and then we do one of these accelerating bend where we start out bending slowly, but then at the very end we kind of give a lot of force right at the end, okay? Again, very similar to the first one. So what are we doing? We're sliding up into the root, brushing through the minor arpeggio, coming up, tagging the 7, same way we did that with the flat 5. We're going to do that. Okay, so it's going to be flat 7 and then bend up from 6 into 7 with our middle finger. And slide up to the tonic. Let the note sustain. Then reach back with your index finger to the 12th fret and then go. Okay? And end your phrase. Something like that. Here are two variants of that lick that, you know, depending on the octave you're playing in, you might want to know. Again, we're at a C sharp. It's definitely like a minor thing. So there you go. This works well over any kind of Dorian sound. So here we are with our pinky at the 9th fret, low E string. So again, it's a brush down through 3 strings and an upstroke, and then we're going to bend in from 1 fret below. Okay? And another little smear on the way back. All right, let's take it. We can gliss in like that kind of thing. Likewise, we can take that same shape and bring it down here to the A string at the 4th fret. And do the same thing. We slide up now to the 6th fret on the G string. Then hit that. And we kind of smear it. Here's one I use an awful lot. We take our index finger, we bar at the 9th fret on the B and E string. And then we do a flat 5 with our pinky. can accentuate the tonic at the end. Here's one to break the monotony of all that minor. Start on the flat 3, and we're going to gliss into the F note at the 13th fret from the 12th fret with our pinky. And then we're going to go right. You guessed it, you can do it in minor too. Right? So we go up from the 9 into the minor third. You can do it with your ring finger. And then we're going to rake across these 3 strings. You can even hammer on from the flat 7 up into the tonic. Okay, so that starts at the 4th fret on the low E string, then the B note at the 2nd fret, and then the E note. And we're going to bend just straight up from 4 into the sharp 4 or flat 5. We're going to let it hang there. It's really tense. Into that note. Wonderful, wonderful sound, that grinding through those low strings. And again, give it a little hook on that F sharp before you let it go back down to an open E string, which is the minor third of our key, right? We're in C sharp minor. Okay, let's continue down that rabbit hole. We did the major one. We did the minor one. Now let's do the one based off the 9. We come in from the flat 2. Okay? This is going to sound kind of, jazzy. So, okay? And we're going to take our middle finger and bar across these 3. And come down to the 9. We want to slide up. And then we just rake back and pull off. Right? Yet another variant on that is rather than leading off the 9, we lead off the 1. We do the same shape. And it sounds terrible if you isolated those notes. Okay? But again, it really doesn't matter because you're going so fast. You're going to go then back up to 1. But give it a long time to sustain on that B note if you want. Okay? Here we go. really fun lick. Let's do another one that breaks up the minor, okay? We're going to start here on the major third of our C sharp. I want you to start with your ring finger, okay? I want you to slide up a minor third. So you're going from the third to the fifth of the chord. And then I want you to put your fingers in like this diagonal shape that we've probably all used a bunch. Okay, we're going to come 13, 12, 11 across the G, B, and E strings respectively. And then we're going to tag our pinky right here on the 14th fret high E. And then we're going to be able to trill back. So we're trilling up. Sorry. That, or we can go. It's a wonderful thing that when you bend up, you can trill back. Sorry, I keep clamming there on this high E here. Really nice line to have at your disposal for playing Mixolydian. Okay, this one is kind of related to that. We start here on the minor third of our C sharp with our pinky on the D string. Okay, so while it's gonna involve the top three notes that we used, we're gonna add the minor third here. All right, so we're gonna sweep across a major 7 shape, right? That's our major 7 chord shape. Okay, but we're gonna sweep across it, and we're gonna bend. We're gonna come up and then. Okay, so we're going to bend up from the 4 up to 5. And then we're going to come down and then trill back to there. Okay? So we brush through. And on an upstroke we bend. Let it down and then trill back through all 4 notes. Then we start doing a little sequence. However that sounds best, right? Here's another variation on that staircase sweep. This. We're going to bend from the minor third up to 4. This kind of thing. That's where we went before. We bent off of the 4 up to the 5. This is going to be bending off the 3 up to the 4. Bending flat 7 up to tonic there. Yummy. I forgot to bring this one out when we were doing the first one we did. And the second one we did. Well, you'd be silly not to know this one. It's kind of the one that started that whole thing. So what are we doing? We're sweeping from the root, flat 3, 5, root, coming up and tagging the minor 3, and then bending from 2 up into flat 3. Right? Then we can... Alright, and that one leads very easily once we come up here to this little shape. Okay, which is based out of this kind of E6 shape. Right? Because E major 6 is the same as C sharp minor, right? So here we go, we can do that same little. Here's a variation on a theme. All right, so what's happening there? We're sliding up from 2 into 3 and then raking back through the minor arpeggio like that and tagging the 1. We're going to do the same idea from 6 to flat 7 here. That's 11 to 12 on the B string. Then we're going to rake through, again, the minor 7 arpeggio and end on the 5th of the chord. So it's the same fingering, it's just up a string set. You do the same thing here. All right, except you can end on the flat 3 there and bend up and let the amp take over. So if, as a player, you know are hip to the fact that the guitar is like this duplicative monster, right? You've got a C sharp here, 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 and here. Those are all the same note on the staff, right? The thing is that they're in different positions on the neck, and they lend themselves to different tricks and sounds. So this kind of lick here. That's going to lend itself to these like first shape minor pentatonic, riffs, right? But if you take that same set of intervals and play it on a different string set, not only does it sound different, like it sounds all bright and chirpy down here, but you're going to also be able to play different things. Like I don't know, I always find myself doing that kind of stuff, right? So wonderful. So seeing as how we just learned this little guy, right? We might as well take the lower part of that and attach it to it. That kind of thing. So if we start at the 4th fret A string, and then it's just one pick stroke, we're going to hammer on, and usually I slide, and I end up having to spread out like that. So it's a bit of a stretch in this key, but it's good. And it's not always the cleanest thing. It's kind of supposed to be a smushy. Okay, and that's right out of the C sharp minor shape. This next one is definitely a bluesier vibe. We're coming at it from more of a, a C sharp with a flat 7 and a 3rd in it. So major 3rd rather. Okay, so we can come from 1 below and slide in with our ring. We could even come at it from the tonic. Okay. Right, so that kind of thing. So what are we doing? We're coming up flat 3 into 3, then we're brushing through, and on the upstroke we're going to bend the flat 3 up ever so slightly into the major 3rd, and then we're going to come back with one of our other rakes. It can be either a minor one, or we could get the major 3rd back in there. Okay? So here's our last lick. That kind works over when you want it to work over a dominant chord, you're going to do this. That's the third of our C sharp. If you wanted to stick with the minor thing that we were doing, you'd have to get back here or here. Okay? That's kind of a handful. Or you could do, and that's going to feel like a little B chord to you. That's pretty cool. That's kind of a C sharp minor Dorian sound. Let's learn the dominant version. Okay, so it's got that major third there, that F. So there's two little sweeps, right? We've got this is like a flat 7/9 arpeggio. Right? So there's their flat 7, 9, and the third. And then we're going to come up into the third from the major third, minor third at the 9th fret G string. And this fingering right here is the same one we used here, just up a fret and down a string. So, see that and that. So we're going to go upstroke here on this E note. And then we're going to do another upstroke here at the 12th fret. So it's nice because it brings us from someplace we might not be so comfy with back to our home. Like, everybody loves this. So here we are. So that's going to wrap up today's lesson. I'm Jack Devine. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Jacksnax. If you like what you're hearing and learning, hey, share, like, and subscribe. I like the subscriptions. It's nice to stay in touch with people and get that dialogue going between me and the viewers. So if you can, I appreciate it if you can. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.